What's going on, y'all? We are back at the intersection, season 8, episode 5. My voice sounds a little crazy. I'm actually getting over being sick, so like a cold, I think. But either way, we're making this episode. This next one is supposed to be with Mexican Connected. For those of you that don't know, I mean, I honestly didn't even know who she was until I saw some interview she did with, I think it was, yeah, she did some interview with that Mexican OT, and that caught my attention. Like I was kind of like, who the hell is this? Like how did they get to interview him first off? And then I figured out that she was into the whole media kind of thing. She has artists that I will have on the podcast later on. But yeah, she's like into the whole media stuff and that whole side of the business. But yeah. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Um Yo,
Oh my God, let
welcome
me make
in.
sure I'm doing it good. Okay, here we go.
Can you hear me good?
I can hold on a second. Let me
Perfect.
just arrange my camera if that's okay. Is that too bright, you
Nah,
think?
nah, you're good.
Okay, because it looked a little. I'm just making sure I stable it.
Nah, yeah, you're good. Shit, well, hey,
Awesome.
I just like started it, so I did the whole introduction. So go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hey
You just in
guys,
time.
I go by Mexican Connected. I am I work in public relations. Originally from the West Coast,
Okay.
but I reside now in Texas. So it is a little bit of a change up. In between, I was in also in Arizona. So I did some time there. Not like real that type of
Like
time,
not
but you know.
not prison time, right? Yeah,
Not that type
not
of time, but
okay.
I just mean that I was lucky enough to like live there. I was going back and forth between California and Arizona
Okay.
because I had a soccer scholarship. So I don't know if you want to get into that right now or if
Nah, go ahead. I'm listening. You got my attention. I like that. That's cool.
so so I grew up back and forth between California and Arizona. I m- my dad, he traveled a lot for work. So basically throughout high school, I pretty much went to school in Arizona, got a soccer scholarship, played out there for travel ball, did all that, and then
Yeah.
did my first 2 years out there. I did get an injury.
Damn.
So I had broken my ankle.
Like while
And
playing or
while I was training, I was
oh
actually going
shit.
back and forth during this time. I played semi-pro in Mexico, so I was
Oh
going
shit.
back
What
and
part?
forth. I was in Sonora.
Sonora. Okay.
Sonora, yeah,
That's
Sonora
like the
is
northern part, right? That's like northern
yeah,
Mexico.
it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
on the border. It's on the border of Arizona and
Okay.
Mexico. So Sonora is literally that state, and it connects to like California. So you can enter through Arizona, go through Sonora, and then come back out to Tijuana and all that. You can go that way, and
Word.
then get
Okay.
out through San Diego or LA because there's
Okay.
a border over there too. So basically, that
That's
area is like border towns, you know.
yeah, yeah. I know there's a
But
lot of
where I
like dope. Like I
go
know
ahead,
there's a lot of dope. Like there's a lot of dope like boxing events that go on around like Tijuana and shit like that. So that's what I
there is
know it for.
there's a lot actually that goes on in Mexico. Other
Oh
than
yeah.
what is
Oh yeah.
common for, because I feel like everybody just when they think about Mexico, they just think about things that they put more of a negative context to it rather than the cool stuff there is to do out there, you know what I mean? And because you do have a lot of people that when you get closer to the border, there's a lot of poverty, obviously. So that's what people see. So when a lot of people go out there, but to be honest with you, in one part of because there's two ways. California and Arizona are connected, right? And
Yeah.
in between there, you have uh you have Mexico. So you literally a mile away from the border town I stayed in, you can literally go to California. So it's kind of hard to explain because like you actually have to have a map, and maybe we should place a map right
So
there so
I
people
kind
can
of know
see.
like a little bit. I kind of know just a little bit. Like I'm semi good at geography, but it's so you were kind of by like Nogales, kind of a little bit, right? Like
No, a little bit southern than that. So Nogales is closer to Tucson.
yeah,
I grew up close in a border. Then there's also a border right there too. So you're
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah,
wrong.
yeah. That's a border
Um,
town.
yeah, but there's other border towns if you keep going south.
Hmm.
Um, before getting to Phoenix and all that. Phoenix is pretty much like
Okay,
the center. You know what I mean?
okay.
The
See,
center
yeah,
between both. And then you pass, if you were to go through Tucson, go through Phoenix, and then you can get to LA through there. You know what I'm saying? If you go straight
yeah,
across. But
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
the upper way, the northern way. There's a southern way to go through, and then you can go through Phoenix, I mean Tucson to go all the way to like San Diego. So
Okay,
there's two options,
okay.
two roads, because you would take the 8 one way and then the 10 the other way.
Word. Okay. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. So for me, I'm kind of used to more like the New Mexico border towns, cause like that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
my region right there. Is Colorado, like southern Colorado, northern New Mexico to southern New Mexico. You know, cause like both sides of my family were from New Mexico, like throughout the
Oh,
whole time,
really? Like where, like Deming and Las Cruces, all that, like, or
all
it was
over,
smaller.
like all
Oh,
over. I
really?
want to say mainly northern New Mexico, but they were all over the
What would
place.
that be
So
considered? Like, what? Tell me a city that would be in northern New Mexico.
So you got like Albuquerque. Well, Albuquerque is more central, but Albuquerque starts really mainly there, and then Santa Fe. You got Santa Fe, and you got Raton.
Okay.
You got fucking yeah. You got all kinds of places right there. So
See, it's
and
funny because
then
I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about these states because they are I don't know. I feel like people usually, when you think California, you think LA. When you think Arizona, you probably think Phoenix. When you think Texas, you're probably thinking Dallas or Houston. You don't
right,
really think about like
or
the other ones.
when you're thinking of like a stereotypical Chicano, you're thinking of or they come from either Texas or they come from Cali. But you don't think of the other states like we were mentioning. But yeah, New Mexico's a little complicated though with its history because for me, like my family, like they're Mexicans, but they're Mexican because of the Treaty de Guadalupe, if you ever heard of that. And
Explain.
so New Mexico was Mexico territory, like it was Mexican
Yes. Yes.
territory, and through the Treaty of Guadalupe, because it was originally Spaniard territory. Before that, it was Native Indigenous territory.
Mm-hmm.
So my ancestors were the indigenous people. Then they were the intermixed with the Spaniards, and then they became the Mexicans because of that treaty. So like my family
So do
didn't
you
like
have both?
originate. What do you mean?
Do you carry both? Like, do you carry both Spaniard and Mexican, like in your blood?
All of that, like indigenous, the Spaniard, like all mixing into being the Mexican. Like
Yeah,
yeah.
I got you. I got you. What you're saying?
And I
Yeah.
say it like that because I claim Mexican because that's what they were. That's what they had to claim. But during that time, it was very complicated because
Well, they
of
didn't have
the whole
ancestry back
colonization.
then.
You said they didn't what?
They didn't have ancestry back then, so there is no real way of finding out what all you were, if you wanted to.
It's yeah,
Um,
it's weird. It's complicated, but it's weird. Like we can't trace ancestors going into Mexico. That's the thing. Like we can't
right.
say like, oh, my family came from Jalisco or they came from there. Like I want to say that, but they didn't. I don't think. I don't know
Well,
because it's we
it
can't
could
trace it that far.
happen when they were going, maybe like they were part of the war, and or not even part of the war. Let's just say that they really were like in that part of New Mexico, but they probably still had family throughout. Because I feel like my mom's family is from Michoacan, and so is my dad's family. But my mom's
Yeah.
family traveled to Sonora, and they ended up in Sonora. So my parents met in Sonora. But my dad, he's from Michoacan. Michoacan is like like middle of Mexico or something like that. Um, and I feel like there were, from what I know, because my dad doesn't really like talk about it, but there's a lot of like Spaniards over there, and especially like you were talking about Jalisco, you know what I mean? Like I think that's originally where they kind of like were and stuff. And I feel like after they conquered and they did what they did,
Yeah,
I feel like they tried to erase so much of the history though. It's like funny because here in Texas, like they banned um in schools now. There's like a new law where you can't talk about slavery, you can't talk about certain things, and I feel like
yeah. Well, that's
that's
what.
not good because you
Well, that's the
want.
thing. A lot of people don't realize about indigenous people or Mexicans. You could just throw them in that category because by that time, like the Spaniards, definitely were like enslaving the women, like and raping the women, and like forcefully,
Well,
like
you know that Mexico was actually invaded by 9 different countries. Like that's how many people came over here trying to take over. They had the French, the Spaniards. I mean, they
had
had so
Irish
many.
people over there, dog. They had fucking Irish people like during some
I mean, you
wars.
could tell Canelo's. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like you could.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
He's from
Canelo beat
Jalisco.
Miklo's record, dude. Miklo,
Mm,
you know what I'm
That's
saying?
funny. But
Yeah,
yeah,
he beat that.
that's a true story. I feel like there is a museum that I would like to go to that I haven't had the opportunity to go to. I believe it's in San Jose, or
Huh?
because I'm from that area. I'm from Bay Area. Um, I'm from Monterey County, so it's like Monterey Bay. But there's a Chicano, all Chicano history museum slash library, and I
Hell
really
yeah.
want to go there
Hell yeah.
because it has so much of the stories that we don't know about. There's some stuff, but it's
Fucking
just
Zoot Suit eras, man. You ever heard about them? That
mm,
shit, the Zoot Suit era, because that shit hit from California. That's where it started. Then it spread all throughout to Arizona, through Vegas or Nevada,
the
through
Zuzuts,
fucking
like the suits.
the old school shit. Yeah, the Zoot
Yeah, yeah,
Suits,
yeah,
like
yeah. I
from the
have heard
50s.
about that.
That
Yeah.
spread all throughout. So a lot of people don't know that either, but that spread all throughout New Mexico as well. So like I said, we're Mexicans, just not from like the motherland, like because we were invaded.
Well, they
But we
basically say
adapted the
Mexican is
whole.
not a race. They're
That's what I'm
saying
saying.
that it's not a race, right? Because and I'm thinking like, okay, true, because we're mixed with a bunch of races. You're really technically not supposed to call each other Mexican. You're supposed to call each other indigenous, which you used the right terminology earlier.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
because you really don't know the mixture that you have. You know what I'm saying? Like some people are mixed with Mayan, Aztec, with Spaniards, French, and all this
For
stuff, and
me,
we
it's
really
like
don't
it's
know. It
straight
got
indi-
lost.
Yeah, like for me, it's none of that. Like it's straight indigenous people, Spaniards, and then other Mexicans that mixed in throughout
Well,
time.
you are very light. You are
I
super
am.
light.
I am. And that's because I'm half. You know what I'm saying? My dad is the full blooded Chicano, and then my mom is half white and half Japanese. So I'm a mix
Oh
of all kinds
wow.
of shit as it comes. So,
That's
but
pretty
I grew
cool though
up,
because you get to learn about all that stuff. You know what I mean? And it's like I
yeah.
feel like it's good. I mean, well, I don't know how much they talk to you about your background or their
Well, with my mom's
background.
side, I didn't grow up really like I knew my mom's dad, like I knew my mom's parents and her
Hmm.
sister because she used to live with us, but I didn't grow up around her side of that family because they were all from like fucking East like Pennsylvania or some shit. Like where other like white people middle class live. I don't like family I didn't grow up around. And also in Japan, way the fuck over there somewhere. And for me, I grew up mainly around my dad's side of the family, where they're from
So
Colorado.
you grew up more around Chicanos than anything else.
So I grew up where that was my background. Being a half breed Mexican was basically what it summed up to be. But yeah, that was like my thing. Like grew up around that. That was me. That was my culture, my background, and it was more so like not Paisa culture, but it was like Chicano culture. Like
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it
I know
was
the difference.
yeah. So
I know the difference. Yeah.
it was cool that I got to experience that and got to grow up learning that. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm not full blooded. You know what I'm saying? Because that's always seemed to be kind of a weird situation too with our culture is like
You're
the
not good
half
enough.
breeds or like yeah, like you're
Yeah.
not Mexican enough, you're not American enough, you're not white enough,
Yep.
you're not fucking. You know what I'm saying? So
I
it's
came to accept that though. I actually came to accept that. which is funny because me going by Mexican connected, it literally, um I just felt like it was always like I'm the Mexican friend, or I was around, if I was around like Caucasians, it was like, oh yeah, because they used to call me AD. That's my nickname or whatever. Like, yeah, AD, the Mexican one. And then I'd be like, and I went to a
Mexican.
historically like HBCU out here in Texas, um, which is part of the second half of the story that I was telling you. Like, I did 2 years in Arizona, and then I moved out here. I got an injury, recovered from that. I was playing in between, trying to get
Yeah,
ready or whatever. I was playing semi pro out in Mexico because I had a friend that I played with in Arizona who got me got me a spot, or helped me get a spot or whatever, got a tryout out there, so we were playing semi pro. But they didn't make a lot of money. And back then, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't see a future in that because I'm thinking big numbers, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though I was coming from a small town and I'm daughter of immigrants and all that stuff, like, I hung out with people that literally their folks had a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? Like, I went to school
yeah.
with them. I'll say that. Not necessarily hung out with them, but like, I went to school with them. So, let's just say, like, I'm not thinking it wasn't gonna equate. So whatever you were making in Mexico was not even enough. Like, you could probably, that was like McDonald's, Burger King money
For
type
semi
thing.
pro, fuck
Yeah.
man, they take that's how hey that's how serious they take football though. It's
But
football.
no,
You can
but
say
that was
football.
back then. That's not the case now. And now it's like semi pro is still good. Now they have like a professional team. At that, I have one of my cousins,
The
her
flag
niece
football.
from that side of her, from her husband's side of the family or whatever. She plays professional soccer out there, and she gets paid good money, but
Yeah,
that's now. We're talking about like back then when I played, and we're talking about like maybe like, I don't know, 15 years ago, you know what I mean? So that's a long time ago.
2011 is when you play semi pro. What was 15
Yeah.
years?
No, a little
20.
bit, a little bit more.
What do you mean
I
like
want to
like
say, I want to say more like, hold on. Yeah, something like that.
what the fuck? You do
But
not what? That don't add
we're
up.
not going to talk about age now.
I'm just saying like that don't add up. Like 2011, like
Oh,
2011, like I'm not gonna say where I was in 2011. That's crazy.
you're probably, well, we're not going to talk about that because then I don't want
Shit,
to tell you
man. I
guys.
was probably fuck, man. What was
Like
it?
two?
Fuck no. Hell no. I'm definitely like early 2000s. I'm a 2000. I'm a '02 baby. So I was in fourth
Wow,
grade.
really?
Yeah. So I was probably in fourth grade, fourth or fifth grade, fourth grade,
Well,
2011. Yeah, fourth grade. Damn.
I don't look my age.
Damn. No, you look like you could be maybe 4 or 5 years older than me at most. Like that means you take good care of yourself, so that's a good thing.
I do. I had a pretty healthy lifestyle because I played sports. You know what I'm saying? So I was I was pretty much into like being healthy because I knew, like, I had injuries, so like I knew certain things I couldn't do, certain things I had to eat. Like, we didn't have like some of the stuff that goes on now. Like, everything was pure. Things didn't have as much hormones and crazy, chemicals and
Yeah.
everything, you know what I mean? So like I feel like it's different now than it was back then. But needless to
Back
say, you know
then,
what I'm
y'all
saying?
as athletes, back then y'all were healthier, I'm gonna say.
No,
As athletes.
absolutely.
Cause I wrestled. I was a wrestler and I did boxing for a long time and I did mixed martial arts. I took a lot of blows to the head in all three sports. A lot of injuries on the legs. Not like bad ones, but just enough to like sit you out for maybe like a couple practices and then come back in. But wear and tear is like a real fucking thing. And then I
Oh
got
no,
some wear and tear
absolutely.
from the military because I was in the army for 4 years. So
Oh
I did
wow.
some, wear and tear for that. That's real shit. Yeah, so my body's been through some stuff. So I probably have a body of like a 30-year-old maybe. But we have a
I
healthy diet, so that helps. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to worry about having a non-healthy lifestyle.
which is crazy you say that, because when I say that to some of the, I deal with a lot of artists and people who are in the music industry who are like a lot younger than I am, and I always tell them like my body, my like how I look is not how I sometimes feel, because like I had that broken ankle, and then like when I was at TSU, I went to Texas Southern University, and then
Hell yeah.
I tore my meniscus, and it
Damn.
was just like
Oh,
it
I heard
was
those are painful as fuck.
very much so. And then you rely on your other leg so much more, on your other knee. And now the knee that hurts is not the one that got injured. Now the knee that hurts is the one that is a good one. So I'm like,
Damn.
this can't be possible. How is my good knee the one that hurts now? But like specifically in the cold, it hurts more. Like I don't really feel it much. And I wear heels every day because of, work or whatever. So I do
Yeah, yeah.
daytime work, and then like
I was gonna
in the
ask
music
about
and
that. Like, I'm sorry. I was gonna ask about that on some non like weird shit. Like, I've noticed like based off the media you show like the pictures, you have a lot of like you wearing heels a lot, and I've always wondered like how does somebody do that? Like that looks painful because I feel like you have to like stand like this, right?
it's almost like I'm a
Throughout long
ballerina.
periods of time. You must have did what you call it, beauty pageants when you're younger too, huh?
I
Because that's a
actually
big
did.
thing
That's
in Mexican
funny.
culture is beauty
I did.
pageants.
And until the guy that was running the pageants, this is actually, you get like, you're getting a lot out of me right now. Cause this is the reason
I
why I
like it.
don't do interviews. It's a lot of information.
I
But
mean,
yes, I
I'm
did.
chilling. Like, we getting to know each other. I like it. We good. We chilling.
When I was younger, I did a couple of pageants. And then as I was coming in to the pageant world, because my cousin
Yeah,
was in it first, and then I entered, and then like the year after that, like it was supposed to be an additional year, and then the dude that was running the pageants got caught up in some stuff,
sketchy shit. Yeah,
things,
typical. Yeah,
and so my mom didn't want me to do the pageants no more, and I didn't want to do them either because I was like, I don't
they're
know what's
very
going
judgy
on.
anyway. Like for me, my wife did beauty pageants, so she told me all about that stuff too, like the ins and outs. She said it was sketchy, just like you said that, and reason why she didn't do it anymore. But it wasn't her mom didn't take her. Her mom was like kept trying to push her into doing it more.
Oh
So,
no. Well, like once my
but
mom heard, I think that the what it was serious, because my mom literally was like, but I used to try a bunch of little things. Like I did gymnastics, I
yeah,
did the pageant stuff. And then then once I started playing soccer, I got into travel ball. So I couldn't really do anything else. So I played travel soccer before I even did um high school and junior high soccer. You know what I mean? And that's a
yeah,
different level of like discipline, because you're paying to play. So that means that you literally have to get
you have to be
good.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you weren't, you're going to have to be, or else you get dropped. You're not going to be at the top. You're not going to be traveling
Oh fuck,
because
and you can't waste mommy and daddy's money. Hell
no,
no.
my parents didn't even have that money. To be honest with you, I was like, I remember when I first started playing, they had no female travel team. So I tried out for an all boys team, made the all boys team, and but I just couldn't travel and compete with them, but I got to train with them. So that's how I feel
Yeah,
like I got better, because I'm 13 and I'm just, I my homeboys are literally, they're going over there, and they're talking about travel, and I'm like, oh, I want to go to practice with y'all, and I'm thinking we're just doing scrimmages, 'cause back then that was popular,
yeah,
and so I went over there and I talked to the coach. The coach said if that I couldn't travel with them, but I could possibly join the boys team if I would make it. And yeah, I did really good, and he was like, yeah, like you can come practice with us. So until I was able to get my own travel team. And even then, when I did get in travel, I was I had like a paper that I had like made that like for people to sponsor me, and I would go
Hell
around
yeah.
asking people to
Yeah.
sponsor, to like give me the cleats or give me shin guards or whatever, you know what I mean? I wasn't shy. Like I literally, like I feel like I've always um been like a go-getter or whatever. So like I was
Well,
like,
yeah, and you seem
well,
very extroverted too, which is I
I
think that's a good trait to
was.
have in a person. Cause I wish I was more extroverted. Like for me, I'm kind of in the middle. Like I'll go out. Like I used to go out clubbing a lot in Korea when I was in Korea. Like when I was even in El Paso, I went clubbing a lot, and I don't know. It gets old for me very quick, and then I prefer like bars. And then I'm like, nah.
When's your birthday?
It's in like what's the day? The 16th. It's in like 4 days.
Oh, so you oh yeah, we I think you mentioned that. So you're a Capricorn? No, you're gonna be an
No,
Aquarius.
I'm an Aquarius. I'm like the
Yes,
edge. I'm like the start.
you guys are hardworking people. My dad's an Aquarius. I love Aquarius men because I feel like you guys are such hardworking people.
I've heard so
Like,
much negative stuff about my zodiac sign. That's why I hate that shit.
well, the negative part is that you guys are very stern and very like, but that's okay. I feel like that's okay. But you guys
That's
love.
fine with me, yeah, but
I
people
feel
are so
like you guys
judgy.
love working though. Like you guys are like big workers. Like when I say working, I mean like it don't matter what it is. At least this is what I get from the Aquarius people that I've been around. I feel like my dad is very like strong minded, and whatever he puts his mind to, literally he does it. I mean, he had nothing and literally just worked his way into like a really good place. So I
Yeah, that
just
would make
feel
sense,
like,
man. That would make sense because, like, my grandpa was like, he was an Aquarius too, and on my dad's side, and he was a roofer. Like, he would build shit and like fix roofs and like would always doing that shit. And it wouldn't be a lot of money, but he was doing a lot and kept doing it. So, yeah, I guess
and once you guys,
hardworking,
it's
but
like almost like you guys get fixated on whatever you guys are doing. You guys get so fixated on it that it's like, I'm gonna make it work. And if that doesn't work, then you move to the next thing, and then that's 100%. And
it
it
has to
doesn't
be
matter
right.
what it is, it's a
It's got to
hundred
be right.
percent.
It's
You
got
know
to
what
be
I
right.
mean?
Yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta be right. Like it's gotta
But that's
be.
a negative thing for other signs because like you would have to get with a sign that would understand the type of go-getter you are and how strict
So
you are
what's a
about.
good what's a good sign for that?
Well, you're married, I can't say.
I mean, you can, because I want to know
Well,
if
no, because
if
what if, I mean, because somehow like you and your sign are making it work.
we
You know what I
are.
mean?
That's why. I
But
mean,
what?
me personally. So me personally, like I believe there's some truth to the zodiac shit, but I don't like truly fully believe like to where I'm like, oh, you're a Cancer. I can't fuck with you. I'm not gonna talk to you. Like, nah, I'm gonna
Well,
still fuck
no.
with you until you prove me wrong. That's
Yes,
how I'm.
you should be open to that, and there is a truth to the stars, the galaxy, the moon, and all that stuff. It does exist. And it was in the Bible as well. You know what I'm saying? So if you believe in God, how can you not believe in this? And like people say, I feel like it was a way for us to like not know as much to keep us like center focused, to just stick to the Bible. And like, well, if you have faith and you believe in the Bible, you shouldn't be thinking about anything else because this
Mm.
opens up a whole different world, and you're trying to figure out how does this world and this world, how do they intertwine, and do they intertwine, and if they do intertwine, that's like a whole so
I think
it's
maybe it's just how people, especially in my generation and the younger generations, kind of portray it because they're kind of like like oh like I said, they're like you're a Scorpio. I can't fuck with you. Like just off of knowing that
but
their
that's
sign is
also
something.
gaslighting, you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of like there's a lot of gaslighting in that. Like I will say like people will use their zodiac sign just to be able to camouflage certain things about them or justify certain things about them. So
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
that part. I believe in that, but
I
I
wouldn't just
will.
judge somebody off a sign though. Like that's because you could take a room full of Aquariuses, and I promise you, they're all gonna be different. Like
Yes, because all of them
you
have
know.
different moons and different rises.
And see,
So
that's where it gets complicated. Because
I
that,
basically studied both, right? So like
yeah.
I had a friend who um who suggested a book to me. I can't remember what the book was called, but suggested a book to me because he had read it, and he was from Chicago, and he was a Leo, and I used to be like, "Dang, it's so crazy because I love your work ethic and I just like love the how like outgoing you are and this and that." And he was always self-motivated and this and that. I'm like, "Man, it's so crazy. Like I can't find people like that." And he's the one that brought up that whole thing to me because back then I didn't believe in the zodiac. I wasn't allowed to believe because my mom would be like, "No, like, we go to church. I grew up, Catholic." It was like a whole
Yeah.
thing. But when he introduced it to me, it made a lot of sense. And then he would talk to me about different things. And then I got curious about it. So I started doing my own research. And then it opened up this whole thing where I can I can get in a room and I can read nonverbals. Also, I majored in communication. I have a minor in communications, but that was my major for a period of time. Um, but
Mm.
I did speech communications as well. So like I'm really good at like watching people's body movements
I
and
used
then
to
their
like those classes.
nonverbals.
Yeah, yeah, we had those
And
kind of classes in like middle school, and the it was called communications, and we had to do like speeches and like in front. Excuse me, but we had to do like mainly like doing like presentations in front of the whole class and like getting over that fear of like public speaking. I feel like.
yeah, that's just the public speaking portion of it, but it goes in depth because I took this in college. It goes in depth and it goes into psychologically, like why, like for instance, or whatever, when people get nervous and they do this and that, you see them like looking up, looking to this side or that side or whatever, you know what I mean? Like all those different characteristics are using hand movements all the time, like why do you express yourself like that? Why do you speak like that?
Yeah,
Or they tell you don't speak like that, try not to use your hands, try to keep your hands like this because if you know that you like to move your body a lot, and you can tell like certain communities or whatever, you're gonna have the head and the da 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 da's, you know what I
the
mean?
whole body.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
not emotion in that ocean.
So,
Shit.
there's a lot that goes into it, but that also goes with like studying personalities. It goes into, I feel like you should look into it because it'll help you understand certain perspectives that you would normally not comprehend because you would be
Mm,
thinking like you're only going to think about it from your eyes, from your point of view, from your visuals or whatever, and you don't get to see the full circle of what society has individually, not just as a whole. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I would say like when when people be like, "Oh, don't start with that zodiac shit," I know what turns them off about it, but I also know that I know I can read a lot of people. Like if you tell me certain things, and when people are stuck to certain ways of thinking, I'd be like, "Oh, you got to be one of those signs that literally is super introverted, does not like doing a whole lot of stuff." Like I will narrow it down, and then I will be like, "Man, you got to be one of these three signs." After I've like kind of like zoomed into like that person after talking to them for a certain amount of time. So
So
I
did you
can
clock?
actually do that.
So did you
Huh?
clock you clocked Aquarius on me before I even told you?
No, but I knew you had work ethic because when you and I spoke in regards to your podcast, you were like, I've been doing this for a while. So it told me like you're a starter and you're a finisher. When you were telling me right now about how you were also in the did you say army, right? Or
Yeah,
military?
military. Yeah, yeah, army. Yeah.
And you said you were in the military, like you have to be a certain type of person. You have to be a certain type of level-headed person to like
Huh.
one thing they tell you about college is like you got to be a starter or a finisher regardless of whatever. That's what it shows when you start
Yeah.
and finish something, right? So I feel like you have to have some type of work ethic, and everybody
I
doesn't
don't
have work
know.
ethic.
I think I would have fucked up in college. I think if I so let's say
If
because
you
I
could do
joined.
the military, you could do college.
Well, that's the thing. I joined the army at 18. I still like had my shit where I got in trouble. I was in Korea at 18 partying. Like, what'd you expect? You know what I'm saying? I still had my licks, but it was the army. Like, it was expected. versus college is like you're gonna party still, but you're expected to like keep grades up. You're expected to turn work assignments in, do good on tests and shit. For me, tests I was terrible at, and they would tell me like a lot of percent of college was tests. So you know what I'm saying? I even fucked up my ASVAB test. I guess I scored low on that shit. If you ever take that, but
I think everybody, if you could do military, I feel like you could do college because
I'm a hands-on person, but I can't do tests. Yeah, no.
I think what was your issue could have been your issue was that you basically felt like somebody had to hold you accountable. And you couldn't hold yourself accountable. I don't think that you were at an age or stage where you can hold yourself accountable to that degree because it was a lot
Maybe not.
more
I was
freedom.
18. Yeah,
That's
I
what I'm
was right
saying.
out of high school.
That's what I'm saying. That
No.
that freedom, college gives you a whole lot of freedom. You have to be accountable for going to class, for turning in those assignments, for making sure that you're not late, for making sure you get up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Over here, somebody's telling you what to do all the time.
yeah,
So
yeah. They're forcing
it's
that.
a
Yeah.
it's a different type of discipline, but I feel like that's why I joined sports. That's how I made it through college
Most
is
yeah,
because
most of the
I had
athletes. Yeah.
discipline in that regard. Like if I didn't have that, I don't think I would have made it through college because I needed the discipline as well. I just took a different route. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Why? I mean, the military discipline is different nowadays, so it's not the same as many people would think. Like for me, I got that treatment from like drills when I first joined, where we got yelled at and screamed at and shit like that. But cycles after that didn't get that anymore. Like they're now soft. Like they don't get yelled at. It's more so they like boost them and like help them out, which is fine. I'm more with that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like getting yelled at either, but you know what I'm saying. It was and that was that difference where it was like it's not the same anymore, and that's where you see a transition. The military is different. So
Yeah.
there's a lot there's a lot of crazy shit with the military I could say, but that's for another time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. But it's interesting because like when I was in college, I took a lot of poli sci classes. I was very much into politics. Still
Yeah.
am. Um, Although like I work in public relations, I've worked in HR, I've worked in public policy, and I would say that out of all those, I felt like my favorite has always been public policy, but I feel like that's the hardest because you really have to have a certain personality to be into politics. And when they say, "Oh, well, all politicians lie," and it's like not necessarily lie. They it's kind of like a salesperson. You do that with anything that you do. You basically lay out all the facts that you have. You basically tell people, hey, this is what happens to that. And you're also adding and subtracting with it because you're basically saying, hey, you can go like this. We're like this right now, but it could turn out to be like this. So you get to pick and choose if this is the destiny you want. So pick me or pick that. These are your options. You know what I'm saying? You still get an option. You know what I mean? That's what voting does. But I think a lot of people like feel like voting is rigged, and I don't think that voting is rigged. I think that voting is
It's something for this. Sorry, it's something for this motherfucker to get
no.
to win another
So
time, man.
this is what I was gonna say with
It's
that.
some
It's
it's
not
some
that
kind
voting
of
is rigged, but they do make it more difficult for you to vote for the people that literally are not in that class or that are not regular
that's
voters
what it
to go
is. I
vote.
knew it. I knew it. Yeah, like the ones that are like if you're a higher class, your vote counts more versus if you're kind of like me where you're like low middle class, it don't really
But not
matter.
even just that. It's not even just that. That's one factor of it. But the reality of it is like let's just say, for example, early voting starts February 17, I believe, here in Texas and stuff. And I don't know if it's
Oh
everywhere.
shit,
I
it's
just
start
know that it's
early.
here. The last day to register is February. I literally have been posting this on my Instagram because I care about that type of stuff. A lot of people don't believe in voting, whatever. I let them believe what they want to believe. But it's my job to just share. You know what I
Right.
mean? Me, as somebody that does believe in certain things and does care about society, my job is to share the information. So I am sharing. However, there is some things that go along with that. If you don't register, you can't vote. If you've moved recently from an address, and you did not change that address, or you don't have two different proofs that of like a bill or something, or certain things that qualify as you showing, hey, that I live here, then you're not going to be able to vote. They
Mm.
make it harder. You have to go to certain voting booths to do it. You know what I mean? You have to go to your zone if you don't do it at a certain amount of time. Like those are the things that they put as obstacles for people that get out of work late. You don't have that much time to go vote. You can't do it in the morning because you're rushing. You might have to take the kids to school in the afternoon. You might have to go pick up the kids, or you might have to go and stop and get things. So you don't have that much time. And literally, people work 9 to 5 type thing. You know what I mean? So the people that care about the things that are happening are those people. The people that
Yeah.
get affected the most are those people. So, but with what's going on with society right now, where we're going, people need to go out there and stand up. And I hear a lot of times that, well, I voted for him because, not me, but people that say, I hear overhear people say I did not vote for him. But
Yeah.
people have said I voted for him because I was putting America first. And I felt like he was not like a regular politician, and I thought he was going to guide us into America first, like the money. And I was like, if you're a criminal and you have priors,
Right.
why would you believe in that? That's a scammer. That's a mass manipulator. That's, everything exactly that you don't want in office is what you put in office. But, you know, I mean, we're dealing with the consequences of it right now. You know what I mean? And it's sad, and it
That's what
stresses
it
me.
is. That's what it is.
Yeah, so it's stressful right now. Here in Texas, they have people out, but they're not as bad because they're still picking up people because they have a quota. They have to get a certain amount of people per day. But it's not as bad because it's a red state and they're focusing on blue
Oh yeah,
states.
Texas is a red state. I forgot. Yeah,
Mhm.
it is. But I
Yeah.
think El
So,
Paso. I think El Paso is mainly blue, just because it's mainly Mexicans
no,
there.
all cities in Texas are blue, but
Yeah.
all the outskirts who go vote
like
are
like
red.
what's one of them? I know one of them. Is Colleen? I think is an outskirt, right? Yeah, that's a
It's
red.
and
Okay,
there's
that's a
also a
red fucking
military
area.
base there. So, you know.
And I mean, not all military people are red. I mean, there's a lot of redneck people that join the army, but like, there's a good amount of Mexicans in the army. There's a good amount of black people
Yeah,
in the
but you
army
have
too.
if you a lot of Tex-Mex over here, they don't believe in some of the core values that we believe in if
Nah,
you're
they're
coming.
backwards. Yeah, they're like more Americanized. Like, they don't even want to be called Mexicans and shit. But that's not El Paso. El Paso's different. That's why I fuck with El Paso.
Well, it's not even just El Paso. You have San Antonio too, you know what I mean? And you have Austin who's like super liberal. Houston is too. But now we have people in positions that, you know, they
Mm.
pretty much guide you in whatever direction they want to, and they paint the narrative. So, I mean,
I don't know. I think there's gonna be a World War III. I'm just gonna say that there's gonna be another war.
it's already
Kind of
started.
probably. I mean, if you're thinking about like cyber shit, then yeah, that shit's already
No,
been.
that's just one part of it. I'm talking about us going into a different country and kidnapping somebody else's president.
Yeah, man, that shit was fun. I saw that shit. That shit was crazy.
That
That's
that is one. Then you're gonna go and say that you're gonna use the excuse. Are you okay?
yeah. So I'm getting over it sick. That's
Oh,
why I'm
okay.
talking loud. I don't want to call. I'm sorry.
No, 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 that's okay. I was just making sure you're
Yeah,
okay. If you want to get some water or something, that's okay too. I didn't know if
yeah.
you had anything with
Oh
you.
shit. But
But no, I was gonna say that yeah, I guess like with where we're going, I think right now we just need to focus on trying to get this person out of of office. And I mean, it literally, I'm not gonna lie, everybody would just really wanted to hope and wish that this was the solution to the problem, and then it's not.
yeah, this
It's
was the
not.
first episode where it really turned political. Like I usually try to steer that because I don't know people's beliefs like that. I don't want to like judge that, but like this is the first one that went political and actually didn't go bad. So that's not that's pretty good. You know,
You know what? That happens a lot in
I'm always afraid to like I'm always afraid to say the wrong shit around the wrong people, and then they're like, "Nah, I don't believe that," and then they get all pissed off, like because
but
people
that's
take
okay though. Your opinion is valid and your feelings are
right, but
valid.
like
And
people take politics so fucking serious, like they really do.
I'm not gonna lie, like I'm one of those people, but I'm a fair person. So I will
Yeah.
still listen to your point of view, even if I don't necessarily agree. And if I'm not well versed in that, I will listen even more because I want to know where you're getting your information from, because I want to
Yeah.
cross-reference that with my information. You
For
know what I
me, like
mean?
I don't even. I'm not even. For me, I'll admit that I'm not even educated in the political world. So like, I even took the test just to figure out like where I'm at, and that motherfucker put me in the Green Party. I guess I'm an environmentalist. I like the plants and shit. I don't know. I like. I
Hey, you want to know something?
don't
Aquarius
know.
people love nature.
Dude, I love nature, man. Like I
And
like going to
and
like
it's funny that you said that you're green, because literally like
I'm a fucking
a
Green
lot
Party.
a lot of people that I know, a lot of Aquariuses, they they're into earthy stuff like planting and stuff like that,
But I've
believe it
always
or
like
not.
camping and shit. Like if you ever like go to the Colorado, you ever go to New Mexico area, there's a lot of places to just go and camp and just enjoy like
So you
outside
love
nature.
nature. See?
Hell yeah. Hell
I
yeah.
guess I guess I guess
There's a lot of
maybe
sunsets in New Mexico, man. There's a lot of places you could enjoy sunsets. You know what I'm
I guess
saying?
zodiacs are not that wrong.
Maybe
They say
not,
that.
but
But back to what you were saying in regards to just rewinding back, like they say that Libras and Geminis go good um with Aquariuses,
okay. I don't know what
which
months
are
those are,
air
but
signs.
so my wife is September.
September what?
September. Let me think if I can remember. It's September 9th. There we go. September 9th.
She's a Virgo.
Virgo.
Mm-hmm.
So Virgos are not compatible with Aquarius, but we're making it work. I think. Yeah.
Not it's not actually, it could possibly work if she's willing to adjust to your ways.
Which I mean,
Because
in
Virgo
all
people
fairness,
are
she
very
has been.
introverted.
In all fairness, she has been. So yeah, it works out. Like
Yeah.
so for me, like right now, like I'm not originally from out here. Like I'm on the East Coast right now. I'm in Maryland. I'm not originally from here, but my parents moved us out here when I was after my freshman year because my dad wanted to go to school and better himself and do his thing. And my mom was just gonna say fuck it and do it for him and you know get the job, move my siblings with me and shit. And we move out here. I go to school here, all that shit, and then I go to the army. Then I move. I made the weird, I don't know why fucking decision to move me and my wife out here, back out here, thinking that we would get like a oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit.
It's
Uh,
okay. I'm still here.
not my fault. But anyway, we were like I moved us back out here after like post military, thinking we were gonna get better jobs. And I mean, it worked out, but at the same time, it was late, and then there's also not a lot of good jobs in this area. So you know, she adjusted to that decision that I made. So you were right about that, but I don't know. I made that kind of I don't know. I made a bad choice on that on my part. I think.
But
So we're
I
moving
think
back west.
but I think that it's okay because you got to you still one thing about y'all is you guys go with your mind of wherever it's going to take you, and even if you make a mistake you bounce back from that gracefully. So it won't be a
We try to,
problem
yeah.
adjusting to going, and if you move again to moving again, you're going to make it work, and it's probably going to be a better situation for you once you do move and you get settled in, because you already know how it works over here and how it works over there, and then you know how to cross reference both. So it'll probably be very helpful because you needed the knowledge of whatever it is that you learned while coming out to Maryland, you know what I mean? So
Well, it was
you
weird.
need,
Like high school being out here, it was fine. Like it was all cool. Like there's no Mexicans really, but it's a lot of Salvadorians and it's a lot of Puerto Ricans and others like Chapinos, Chapinas, all that shit. But they're cool. Like I ended up having to like just adapt where I was at. So I was the only Mexican or the only half breed, whatever the fuck. But I had to make do with what I had. So I it had no problem. But like moving back from the military, like moving back here, it was like damn, like people are. I don't fuck with. I don't know, like something about at least the DMV area. I'm like, man, I
yeah,
don't
I think you're in an
fuck with
odd
that.
place though, because I feel like you majority of the people that are there, like they kind of were born and raised there, so like they adjust to that, and they usually get like jobs that are around that area, like
Nah, hell no.
political
Like a lot of
jobs.
the neighbors around here, they drive all the way to like Baltimore. For me, Baltimore's like 30 minutes
Mhm.
away, so it's like
Got you.
not too far, but it's just not
How
down the
far is New
freeway.
York from you?
For a 5 hour drive, you can
Okay.
make it in three depending how fast you drive. But yeah, 5 hour drive,
Okay,
decently.
cool. I'm actually supposed to be in New York next weekend. I'm going to one of my artists is he's going to be on the radar, and
Oh,
a
okay,
couple other podcasts that he's going to go do. So I'm flying out there on Thursday. So that should be
okay.
interesting. I don't know how cold it's going to be. I don't know if I have the materials for that. I'm like, winter
Bundle the
clothes?
fuck up. Yeah, bundle the fuck up. It's cold as fuck on the East Coast. It's cold. Like, it's cold here.
No,
It's cold there.
I know it's so crazy because I've been in New York, but I haven't been in the last couple years, so I really don't know what the temperature looks like during this time. Because when I went, it
Too
was
cold for
cold,
Latino weather.
cold.
I'll tell you that shit much. Too cold for that. It ain't
That's
tropical.
funny.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's cold. Definitely. Yeah, you gotta
Hopefully, I
bundle
have
up.
a warm enough.
Have you ever seen like New York rappers? Like they're wearing like the puffy jackets with the hat and shit. That's real shit. It's cold over there. Wear a puffy jacket. Straight up.
I
Wear a
will.
puffy shit.
I got something. I got something. Even though
Extra
like I
leg,
don't
like
really
layer
have a
up.
lot.
Yeah, layer up. Extra, like if you got some extra leggings, extra fucking whatever, bundle up. Like
Dang.
it's like
I'm just
if
hoping
you
it
ever,
fits in my luggage. That's what
I
I'm
don't know.
carrying.
Depends on what the cold weather you have. I don't know. Cold
Damn.
weather gear stuff. I don't know. Cold jacket. I don't know. But I was just saying like when I first started the episode before you joined, I was saying how I first saw it, like discover who you were.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, but I actually saw an interview where you were interviewing that Mexican OT and that shit was funny. Like I don't know if like you just kind of boned to pick with him for some reason. I don't know what it was, but it was so funny. And like after that happened, after that I saw that interview, I was like, who was that? And then I had to go and find who you were, and then had to follow from there. And then I was surprised you
Wait,
found back.
where did you find this interview at? This is an old interview. This is before he even blew up.
Right. So I don't know if it was on YouTube or TikTok, what
Yeah,
it
it
was.
must have
Some
been
it
on
was posted
YouTube.
somewhere. It was posted somewhere because I tried to find it again and I couldn't. But it was like it was
Oh, that
funny
I
as hell.
did. Fool's Community had like took
That's
something that I
probably.
said, and then they put it out there, and then they showed a clip and all this like not too
Mm.
long ago, probably last year or something. But I don't know when you saw it, but that interview actually took place.
I think I was in El Paso still when I saw that. Maybe no, maybe I was already here. Yeah, because like not long after, like after I followed, like you followed back, and I was surprised. I was like, oh shit! Like I didn't know you were gonna do that. I was surprising because I didn't know like if you like fucked with other people like that, or like if you just reached out like that. So that was cool
Oh
to
no,
see,
I'm
to
a
be honest.
people person. Like I connect with different people, and I'll
So you're
just
like me.
and
Hell yeah. You like me then.
yeah. I literally I think I might have I seen your stuff. I saw that, and then I just kind of like briefly like scan your page to make sure you weren't a fake follower, because I always do that. Make sure it's not fake followers. If I know if
I
it's
hope I
like
didn't look
fake, I
fake.
block them.
Fuck.
No, but people be buying followers and doing all this crap. So I always block those people, or I don't follow them if they do have like fake followers.
Yeah.
Because then it like messes with your stuff. So I think I briefly saw your page. I really didn't see all of it like thoroughly, but I just saw like a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's an artist or whatever, because I didn't know that you did podcasting. I just thought that you were
Yeah,
an
everyone
artist.
asked if I rapped. Yeah. I was like, no, I'm a
Yeah.
podcaster. I don't do that.
and
Yeah.
and that, yeah, that's kind of what it was. And I don't remember when this was, but I do remember like it happening. And then I think that I don't even know how we came about talking, but um it's interesting to me that you bring that up, because I had one of the artists that I talked to, and he was telling me about how he found out about me through another situation with Mexican OT or whatever. And I
This
think
motherfucker.
what
What's he been doing, man? I don't like. I like that Mexico tea. I listen to his music, but I don't like. I'm not really one to keep tabs on celebrities on their lifestyle. Like, I leave that shit
I don't
alone. So
know.
I don't know what he's been up to.
I have not seen him in the last. I think the last
Has
time
he
I saw him was
been? I
two
wonder
years
if he's been
ago.
talking shit. We might have to do some searching. What if he's been talking stuff? I don't know. What do you
About
think?
who?
You? I don't know. Because you said like he heard about you, so I don't know. Like maybe he's like, oh yeah, I was on that interview. Maybe he's like shouting you out. I don't
No,
know.
I don't think that happened. I think it would have been happened if he was. I saw him at in Austin. They have South by Southwest. I saw him there. We used to talk often. I was in contact with his manager and all that stuff when before he blew up and everything. But I tried to book him for something. His manager was like, "Oh no," like he didn't even want to do that. It was a whole ordeal or whatever. Like he was just like, "Oh no," like his fee went up, and I'm like, I'm booking him for this festival that a yearly festival that I do, and
Yeah.
then um he tried to overcharge me for that, and I was just like, "Hey, I was
What?
booking him. Yeah, I was booking him before he even. I was getting him on a stage before, and I never said anything. Yeah, and he never had to pay for when I was putting my events together or whatever.
Right.
So
And
I
y'all was
just
tight
felt
knit, right? Like y'all was tight knit, like cool like that.
no, we
See,
we
that's
were.
fake as fuck. That's fake. Then, damn. I don't know. That's probably not him though. That's probably his manager. Maybe his manager is a fucking perro. I don't know. Like, who knows? I don't like. We don't know the whole story. That's the whole thing. Like, that's why I don't like to jump to too many
I
conclusions. You know.
I do know that he got his deal or whatever, but I from what I hear it wasn't the best deal, but it's still good for somebody that didn't have as much as they had back then. So he accepted whatever he could or whatever, but he got into a lot of back and forth whenever he showed that he was a Donnie supporter, and then he went recently and he was talking about how he doesn't care. He's gonna say the N word. It doesn't matter
I
around
saw that.
who.
I saw that. I
who-
saw that interview. Yeah, I saw
And
that
then
interview.
it's like, and it's fine. I feel like, I'm a West Coast Mexican, so we feel differently about saying the N word than the people down south that say the N word.
Yeah.
I don't say the N word. I didn't grow up like that. I did go to HBCU. I respect my people, and most of the people that I hung out with are
Yeah.
are black excellence. So, I am familiar with the crowd that's not black excellence, but I hardly hang out with those people. So, and that's not to say that I can't. That's just to say that I choose not to, because the same way why I'm not going to hang out with, people from, the Mexican group that,
Oh.
I mean, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm Mexican, we're all We're all Mexican. We're supposed to be on the same side. You know what I mean? Hi,
Yeah,
What's
there's one of
good?
my
What's good?
co-hosts. He's just saying what's up.
hi. What's your name?
Cam, Sage.
Sage. What's good?
Yeah.
I'm Mexican Connected. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
You should have tapped
I,
in earlier.
yeah, man. I
Yeah,
was
but
just
where you
popping
at,
in to
bro?
check in, man. Say what's up.
I already like kind of took some down already. Fucking like we were supposed to get started, homie.
Yeah, you right. I actually need to get a drink in, bro. Take a shot with me.
I already done got started without you, homie. You gotta catch up now. Shit. But
That's too
yeah, like
funny.
I'm actually really glad you like hit me back and tap back in with me because like it was I always thought it was gonna be a good idea to do like a podcast like this and kind of come together to make something happen, um and talk about a lot of shit because as you can see this already went for an hour and we talked about a whole lot of fucking shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Right.
And so I'm out here in Houston. So if you ever need anything or you're passing by here or you want to figure out what's going on, let me know. I don't really go clubbing much.
I don't
I
either.
that
Nah,
that's
I don't either.
but I know people that know the hot spots, so
Cool.
I literally just have to make a call if that were to be the case. I do know of a lot of like different artist events that be happening around town, you know what I mean? Just because like
Mm,
I talk to a lot of other PRs and managers out here. Right
that's
now
cool.
I have I am Lopez and Send the Artist. Those are the main artists that I work with. Send the
Yeah.
Artist is the one that's going to New York this weekend. And somehow I'm gonna have to make a magical play, go to New York, fly back. My I am Lopez has a show in Waco, so I'll fly back and then I'll be out there for like 2 or 3 days, come
Oh
back
yeah.
and then drive to Waco and then make it to her show and make sure that, my kids are happy.
Oh yeah. So do
But
you only manage music artists or?
so I'm not managing them. I do PR work for them and I'm the road manager right now, but I was managing, but I have gone through different evolutions of artists, and I was doing Mexican regional music.
Oh
I
yeah.
had a girl who was from the valley who did mariachi and did norteño and did all that. So
Hell
I worked
yeah.
in that. Booked her for like her biggest booking, which was like at the Cowboy Stadium. That was a cool play. Um,
Okay.
and then before that, I was working with another artist. He did like more like Mexican corridos, trap
Corridos
corridos.
tumbados, like
Mm-hmm.
tumbado. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but he was coming from the hip hop world, and basically, I was helping him transition over from the hip hop world into the trap corrido world. So I was
Okay.
helping him with his image with that. As far as public relations, there's different aspects of that. I guess I should have started with that. There, you can be someone's publicist where you just are constantly like in the limelight trying to help help with their image or whatever, in whatever direction you want it to go, like helping with the narrative of it, public relations is a little bit broader, but
Yeah.
a publicist is under that, so it's like the umbrella, but there's the different aspects of that. So I pretty much, right, what I do right now is I help with music rollouts, um and I work with them, like if they're about to shoot a video or whatever and they need help with like creating their concepts, they want to roll out their new single, EP, or album. I help them with that. um i
Okay.
do I do get on the road with them because I am big on traveling, so I'm already on the move anyways. So I do end up traveling with them a lot of the instances. So I'm back and forth to Arizona, California. Like I said, I'll be in New York. I know we're supposed to be doing something in Colorado, New Mexico,
Oh
coming
yeah.
up later on this year as well. Lopez is gonna have some shows. she's doing pretty good. She's
You
opened up
gotta hit
for a
up
few
Burke if you're gonna
artists.
do a show in the Mexico. You gotta go to Burke. You gotta go to 505, man. You gotta hit
I
it
do.
up.
I actually, there's this artist that we've been following each other for a while that I haven't met, but I want to hit up when I'm out there. And I believe he's from Albuquerque. I think he
Mm-hmm.
is. His name is Jandro. Have you heard of him?
Andre?
Jandro, like with the J. Jandor, I believe, official Jandro or something like that. He's from the 505. I think I first saw him. He worked with Snow the Product, and I
Well, he's
think he
someone big if
opened
he worked
up.
with Snow. Yeah, he's.
Well, he opened up for her a couple years back. I'm not sure. I know he kind of is doing his own thing now, but like I follow him. I would
Yeah,
love to tap in with him when I'm in New Mexico. In Colorado, I have a couple friends. I have some producer friends that I'll probably be tapping in with.
oh yeah,
That work with a lot of big people, so I'll probably tap in with them when I'm out there. Um,
oh yeah.
and
There you go.
I think that it'll be good. I don't know. This year is gonna be like I travel a lot throughout the year. I'm literally in the city probably like maybe 2 weekends out the month, and then the other two I'm traveling. So
Oh
it's a
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
It's
I
a
can tell
lot,
you busy as hell. Yeah, I can just
but
tell
it's
based off the
cool.
post. I can just tell based off the post how busy it is, like how busy your whole thing is. Like I don't even know how you even have time to even post, to be honest.
Well, that's the thing. Like right now, I told myself when I started off the year, I made my last post. I really, believe it or not, like I have 10K followers. I get about 100,000 views, and it's cool, and I keep it going and everything. But I told myself that I was gonna digress a little bit from the social media part, not because I post a lot, because really I only post once a week.
Yeah,
But I haven't even been posting once a week right now because I'm probably not gonna post till February. If you and I would have done a collab, or if you, whenever like you put the video out or whatever, I'll do a collab with you about it. But
yeah,
as far as me posting for like myself or whatever, I'm not posting nothing right now. Even on my social media stories, I'm not really posting like that because I'm I've been working behind the scenes on other things. Like I have a website that's coming out, a
yeah.
mexicanconnected.com, and then I'm working a lot. I have adcosmetics.com, which is my lipstick company, and I've
Shit.
been adjusting a lot of things there. Um and I also, because I'm working with these artists, I need to create agendas for them because they got new singles, EPs that are coming out. And so like I gotta formulate who's gonna drop when. So I have a lot that I have
Shit.
to like try to manage in the background. Um
Yeah,
which I
that's
wanted to do a podcast, but then I was like, I'm never gonna have time. I I wouldn't have time because
shit,
a radio
bro.
station had asked me could I do something, and they wanted me to. They have the setup, they have everything, but I had to pick one day, and then I'm like I usually have studio on Tuesdays and Thursdays. My artists will go in on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they go to the studio. So they like
Yeah,
me to be there in case, like, hey, should I do this song? Should I mix and master this song? So are we gonna move with this one? Should we drop this one as a single? Do we submit this one? Like, so I am in the loop with a lot of the stuff that they're doing right now, and the plays that they're making, because they're big plays, they're not little plays. And but I'm just being quiet about it because I feel like everything doesn't have to be seen, and I would like to have
true.
like a documentary that comes out later. So I do jot down things and I record specific stuff, but for the most part or whatever, yeah, like I'll probably get together with somebody that understands my vision and will help me create something for later.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Definitely do a documentary. That shit would be lit. That'd be lit. I'd watch that
Well,
shit
it's
for
funny
sure.
because even when you were talking about earlier about the Mexican OT thing, like a lot of people don't even know that that even exists. They
Yeah,
don't know,
I don't know
you
how
know.
because I was like I saw that and I saw the interview, but like the thing that caught my attention was the way you were interviewing him, because the way I saw you interviewing him was kind of how I wanted to replicate myself on my podcast, and how I wanted to deliver my questions and ask my questions. And the way you did it was like you didn't hesitate, and you weren't afraid to ask those like outlandish questions either, to really
What
get them
questions
to
was
like,
I asking?
shit, I'd have to find the video, but it was enough to, I was like, yo, like, but you know
But I am a very
it
direct person and very assertive, so I will
that's
say
what I'm
that.
saying, and that's what I wanted to kind of portray. I feel like I do a good job of that, but I want to portray more of that with other guests that I'm trying to get to talk more. You obviously had no problem getting to talk. Like you came on ready to go, like me. You shared the same energy. But a lot of guests I do have on here are a little bit timid, a little bit kind of quiet. They'll agree with everybody else, kind of deal. And I want to be able to kind of ask those questions to get them to talk more without letting it go so left, if that makes sense, without having it go to where it just blows up.
Well, you
And
have to make sure that one thing that I've learned in communications is that everything's a conversation.
yeah,
So if you feel that the conversation, you are in charge of the of controlling your show, and you can reel it back in with it having to be too far out. You have the literally the ranges to pull it back to where you want it to go. You
right.
can do it in such a soft manner where it doesn't look like you're being abrasive with like, "Oh, okay, we're gonna stop talking about that." Like you don't even have to go about it like that. You can do it in a way where you make a quick little joke or something like that, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I was also wanting to talk about this. I was wondering if what or how you felt about this." And then you kind of
Yeah.
unravel into a new topic. So make it all so that it sticks together, and when it'll be easier for the rollout when you're trying to come up with those difficult questions that you want to ask your guests. You know what I'm saying? And not
Okay.
let it to go too far where you no longer can catch it. When you know it's going a certain direction, like when we were talking about politics, and if I would have been, let's say, against the stuff that you were saying, you needed to
I
figure
would
out a
have
way
been
to.
so peaceful with it though. I'd be like, hey, that's cool. Like I wouldn't even be. I would. Like I don't care. Like, that's the thing. Like I don't care that deeply about people's views on politics, unless unless it's racist. Then unless it crosses certain
But we don't
boundaries. You
want
know
to
what I'm
talk
saying?
about that. It's not about whether or not you care, right?
Right.
It's about your image, and I'm big about that. I told you, image control is so important. Like to that's what I do. So I know how to navigate through that because I help like mold images. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that also that also includes creating a narrative. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah.
manipulation. There's a difference between manipulation and because I feel like some people will try to manipulate a situation in order to, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I feel like you have it. I feel like if you've been doing it for this long and it's still working out for you, you're going to be successful at this. If you ever need any type of help or whatever, you can always reach out to me. I will be more than
Yeah,
happy. And
definitely.
I'm busy, but you know what I mean? Like I would not mind like making time because I feel like you're a good listener. So when I was giving you your constructive criticism, you took it as constructive criticism. You didn't take it as criticism. And that's what you need in this world. You have to be able to know how to take that because even though you might not like what is said to you sometimes, you have to know how to accept it and
Yeah.
take in the good and the bad and know how to, okay, well, I don't need that, so I'm just going to use this out of that whole thing of information that I got.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But I know
Yeah.
that we've been here for a while and I know it's your Friday night. I'm sure that you got a bunch of stuff going on, like,
Yeah,
you know,
got some stuff going on with the wife. You already know. Um, but
you
I'm sure
better
you do
you better
too.
take her to go do something fun. At
Or you
least
already
dinner.
know. You already know. You already know. She's gonna be expecting, especially because payday was not too long ago, so she's expecting. You know what I'm saying? But I know you're busy as well with your schedule too. That
I
was a
am
crazy
actually gonna
schedule.
head to dinner myself. I haven't seen my friends in literally a month, and they're so mad because
Ah,
I'm going out of town next weekend, and I had to make. I'm like I can't go out, and I'm not drinking right now. It's dry January for me, and
oh
so
no,
I'm literally gonna go to dinner and then come back home because they're gonna go out after that. So I just at least want to make dinner
got
with
you,
them, and
got
then
you. Yeah, girl, we'll take care of that. Just shut yourself out real quick. So anyway, it's good tap
Mi
in.
raza, it's your girl Mexican Connected. Thank you so much to the intersection because I had such a blast being on here and being able to just converse about
Oh yeah,
various topics. If you guys are ever looking for a PR or are interested in my cosmetics, you can find me at adcosmetics.com. Mexican Connected website is launching in February. So you guys can also find me on mexicanconnected.com, and I am on Mexican Connected on all platforms. So I look forward to what the year has to bring. Good luck to you with the podcast. And like
appreciate
I
you.
said, I'm here to help
Oh yeah.
anytime.
Hell yeah, we locked in. Go ahead, y'all tap in with Mexican Connected, and if you can find that interview, check out that Mexican OT interview. That shit was lit. Um,
Y'all stay
you go
connected,
ahead. You have
baby.
yourself a hell yeah. Go ahead. You have yourself a blessed night. Enjoy that dinner.
Thank you. You too.